Hey everyone, welcome to Coding Simplified, and today we'll see a new question. So today we'll see that how we can merge the intervals, right? So if you see that here we have different intervals given. One interval is 2 to 5, another interval is 4 to 10, then we have 11 to 15, and we have 12 to 14, right? So basically I would say that if we have one interval, so this is one interval, so in one interval one will be start and one will be end, right? So obviously start will always be less than the end because we are basically saying these are the intervals, right? So intervals, when we say, so it means we have one start and we have one end. This is a definition of interval, right? Now if you see like this case here, we have 2 to 5. So if in line, if we have somewhere here, so let's say 2 to 5 we have, then we have 4 to 10. So because what we are doing, we are trying to understand the question first, that what is the question, because when we are saying merging the intervals, like what it means actually, right? So here we have 2 to 5 and here we have 4 to 10. So 4 to 10, it would be somewhere here, right? 4 to 10. So what I'm saying, that I will merge the intervals. So it says that rather than these two intervals, can I merge them, right? So yes, definitely I can merge them, because here we have 2 to 5 and here we have 4 to 10, and these are basically overlapping. If you see that this portion is overlapping, right? So I can say that I can somehow can have 2 to 10, and if I have merged, if basically I have merged these two interval into 2 to 10, right? And this will accommodate all the values whatever present were here, right? Like if you see 2 to 5 is also here. So basically after merging, both the values should be present in the final one. That's what is the merging. Like if you see, we can check whether can I say 2 to 5 present here? Yes. Can I say 4 to 10 here? Yes, 4 to 10 is also present here, right? So it means I have got one merge interval of these two values as 2 to 10. Now let's take this case. Here we have 11 to 15. So 11 to 15 means if it is 10, 11 to 15 will be somewhere here. This is 11 and this is 15, right? Now can I merge these two intervals? Because here I have 2 to 10 and here I have 11 to 15. So I cannot merge them because there is no overlapping such thing, right? So it means my next interval will be 11 to 15, because I cannot merge these two intervals. Now the other interval is 12 to 14. So 12 to 14 means 12 will be somewhere here and 14 will be somewhere here. So can I merge them? Yes, because obviously this 11 to 15 covers both the cases. 11 to 15 covers this case as well and this case as well. So I can easily merge them. And after merging, it will be something like this, 11 to 15, right? Because 11 to 15 covers both the cases. So after merging the intervals, because these four intervals can be merged in these two intervals, right? So basically my answer should be this one. My answer should be 2 to 10 and 11 to 15. These intervals I should return it, right? This is my aim. Now how we can go with the solution? So if you see, like here what is happening, here if you see, this is start, this is end, this is also start end. Here these starts are basically in a sorting order. Here also we have start 2, then 4, then 11, then 12, right? So but these are basically sorting manner, but let's say it could be in any manner in the question. So let's say my question could be something like this, that merge interval 11 to 15, then 2 to 5, then again it can be 12 to 15, and then 4 to 10, right? So let's say if my intervals are given in this manner, like they are in any order, right? So the first thing that you need to do is you need to basically sort the interval based on their starting model, right? Because if you see that if you have the start, then only we can go further, then only we can see exactly that what picture we have. Because if you see, because these intervals were in order, so that we could basically see here, okay, that here we have 2 to 5, then we can have 4 to 10. So again there is some overlapping, so I can merge them, right? So this is what the first point is. The first point is that you will sort the interval based on the starting value, right? Based on starting value. So what we will do, basically for that we can have simply like collection dot sort, and where we'll sort on the starting value. So this is the first approach, right? So once you sort the thing, then you would get something like this one, right? So let me write here clearly so that you can know what is happening here. So let me remove this one and let's see one by one that how it is happening, right? So the first, because once you have sorted the interval based on the starting one, now let's see that how it is happening. If you see that here we have 2 to 5 and here we have 4 to 10. So as we know that this, because we have already sorted using the starting, it means the starting of this one will be less than the starting of this one. That's we know, right? Now if you want to merge this one, so we know that my first start will be this one. Now what will be the end? The end will be the maximum out of these two values, right? So it means the maximum will be out of these two values. Now what is the maximum? Maximum is 5, maximum is 10. So it means this will be my merging the value. This will be after merging the value. Now how we can check, how we can know that whether they are overlapping or not, right? So let's see this case, because this is very important, because you should know that how we are checking that whether they are overlapping or not. Now if you see here, let's say these are the two values, and let's say this is start. So I'm saying let's say this is start and this is end, right? So I have stored this start and end. So let me write here something like this. Here we have start, here we have end, and I'm saying this is, so I will basically store the start and end here. These are the first interval, and then I will start from here. This is my current interval, right? So I will say this is my current interval, right? And one by one I will basically proceed this one. So here I will say this is my current interval dot start, and here I have current interval dot end, right? So these are the four values that I'm operating: start and current dot start, current dot end. So now what will happen? At the starting I have taken the start will be 2 and end will be 5, right? Now what is my current interval? My current interval is this one. Now what I will check, how, when they will overlap. They will overlap if this value is less than the this one, right? Because if this value is less than this one, then only they can overlap. Let's say if it was 6 to 10, if it was 6 to 10, now whether they are overlapping? No, they are not overlapping, because 2 to 5 will be here and 6 to 10 will be here, right? So what we need to check, if current, so basically we can check that if current dot interval, if current this is current interval, so basically we can say if current interval dot start is less than the end. So what is end? End is this one, right? So let me remove this one so that we focus whatever we are doing. So this interval is 4 to 10, right? So let me write here again. Here I have 4 to 10, right? So these are the four interval we have. Now if you see, this is current interval. Now current interval dot start is less than the end, right? It means they are overlapping, because 2 to 5 is here and 4 to 10 is here. It means they are overlapping. So if they are overlapping, right, if they are overlapping, then I will update the end. I will update the end. Now what will be the end? The end will be the maximum of end, right, and current interval interval dot end. So what is this case? Let's see this one. What is end? End we have this 5, and what is current interval? Current interval end is 10. So what is the maximum? Maximum is 10, right? So I will update the end here, and my start is still 2, right? My start is still 2 and my end is updated to 10. So that's what I am doing only when it is overlapping, right? So now my start is 2 and my end is 10, and now I will move to the next interval, right? Now my next interval is 11 and 15, and I will check with the start and end. So you see that basically I'm always checking with the start and end, right? So now it will check again. It will check whether this current interval dot start, whether it is less than end. So my, what is my end? End is 10. So this is not less than end. It means this is not overlapping, because 2 to 10, because 2 to 10 is somewhere here and 11 to 15 will be somewhere here. So it means they are not overlapping. And if they are not overlapping, if they are not overlapping, it means the start and end will be my one interval, right? So what I will do, there will be my result list. So there will be my result list. Here I will basically add one interval, and one interval will be combination of the start and end. So it will be 2, 10. So I have added one interval, and now I will update the start and end with the latest value of this interval, current interval. So now start will be 11 and end will be 15, right? So guys, this step is very important, right? So basically when I will show you code, so you will get it more understanding, but still let's see, because what I'm doing, there are only two cases. The one case is if current interval dot start is less than the end value. This was the one case, and if it is the case, then I am just updating the end. I'm just saying just update the end, so that is why I updated that end will be maximum of the end and current interval dot end, right? And if it is not the case, if current interval dot start is greater than this one, like this happened in this case, right? If current interval dot start is greater than the end, then in this case it means now it cannot be overlapped. So I will add one interval as my answer by taking the value of start and end. And now because I have added one interval, so now I will update the value of start and end with the current interval start and end. Now let's go to the next interval. So here we have this interval. So now my current interval is this one, 12 and 14, and now here I will check with this start and end, right? So because I know that start is less than this one, already this one, so basically I will check this one because this is what I check. So here I'm checking that whether the current interval dot start is less than the end. So yes, this is a case. So if it is a case, then what we need to do? So if it is the case, so what I will do, I'll basically update the end, right? So start will still be same, and the end will be maximum of end and current interval dot end. So basically the maximum out of this one and this one. So what is maximum? 15. So it means the end will still be same, right? And after that we are done, right? After that we are done. So now what we will do, we'll basically because we are done with all the intervals, so at the last I will basically add the interval of containing start and end. So here I will add and start and end. So these are the two interval will be in my final intervals, right? So 2 to 10 and 11 to 15, this will contain all the intervals present originally, right? So this is how basically we can merge all the intervals whichever given to us, right? Now let me show you the code as well, so that you can know that how it is happening in the merge interval. And first of all I'm saying that let's say if my size is 0. If my size is 0, it means there is no such interval. So in this case I can return the blank list. But if it is not the case, so I will basically initialize a result list where basically I will contain the last interval, all the merged interval. Now what we are saying that first of all we'll basically sort the interval based on the start value, right? So this is how we can sort the value, collections dot sort, and this is a list. List basically is the this interval list, and this is basically a interface, right? So here I'm saying using the lambda function that AB, let's say if this list has two values AB, so I want to basically sort based on the start value, right? So this is why it is saying A dot start, B dot start. Now what is this interval? So basically we have defined the interval as a class where it has two values, start and end, right? So based on the start value, we'll basically sort the complete array, right? Now what I'm doing, now basically I'm basically using the start end because I want to have the first intervals start and end, right? So this is how what I'm doing. First of all, I'm getting the iterator. So I'm getting the iterator of the list, right? Here I'm saying list dot iterator, and now I'm getting the first interval. Now first of all I'm getting the what is the start. Start is first interval dot start, and end is first interval dot end, right? So this is the start and end. Now after that I am getting the current interval. So this is the current interval, and here I am checking that if this value has next, because let's say if we have the more intervals. Now we are saying that if the current interval dot start is less than end, then in this case we'll update the end with method maximum end or current interval dot end, right? And if it is not the case, like if it is not overlapping, then we'll basically add the new interval, right? Because here it means we have added new interval. So I will say that result dot add new interval start and end, and then I will update the value of start and end, right? So this is the case when they are overlapping, and this is the case when they are not overlapping, right? And then at the last I will add this result dot add, right? So this is how we can basically add the intervals, or we can merge the intervals, right? Now let's say if you talk about the time complexity to solve this question, so basically what will happen, that here basically we have let's say we have n intervals. So what we are doing, we are basically operating one by one all the intervals, right? So it means my time complexity will be big of n if I have n intervals, where n is n intervals. And if I talk about the space complexity, so as such I am not using any extra space, so my space complexity will be big of 1, right? So what we are doing, we are basically storing this, whatever intervals we have, we are storing this in a result, in a list. So if you consider that one, then you can say that it is big of n, right? Because we are storing the result into list. So for that, then it can be big of n. N is again the number of intervals, right? So that will be the time complexity and space complexity, right? So that's it about this video. If you have any doubts, then please write in the comment section and I will try to explain that. And I will also put the source code into description section, so if you want, then you can also get it from there. So thanks, and if you have liked the video, then please like it and subscribe the channel for more such videos. Thank you.